So, once again, everybody's talking about Andrew Tate, the most censored man on the internet. Well, so I did some digging and read about him and watched some of his videos, and I came to the conclusion that if he had not been canceled, I would still be blissfully unaware of his existence, and so would many, many other men and women alike. Which makes me wonder, who's the mastermind that decides who should and shouldn't be canceled, first off? Because it seems kind of counterproductive. It seems all canceling has done is turn him into a martyr. Now, I've read about, all the controversies, how he treats women like property, and some weird videos came out, and the first thing that came to my mind was, people in America know the porn industry exists, right? Like right now, literally anybody could pop in BDSM porn and get thousands of hours of footage. And we're supposed to be offended because this guy made a video or two with girlfriends. I don't get it. But whatever. I don't care. Anyway, I think the guy is a narcissist. I find him very unappetizing. I can't imagine myself ever caring to date this guy. But according to videos of him I've seen, he would say that meant I would never have anybody of high value, because I would only date guys who are loyal to me. Therefore, I'd never have a high value guy. But in his mind, that means I'd never date him, and that's something I can definitely be okay with, because he definitely doesn't seem like my type. Now, that being said, I think he's a very powerful person. I think he has good charisma. I think he could be a good role model for men if he was actually a man of moral character. I can see why men would admire a guy like him. But speaking as a Christian, I don't think anybody should admire him. But I understand the attraction that some guys would feel. And I can't say I've disagreed with everything he's said. He's just not somebody who I find respectable. But the thing that annoys me about him being canceled is he's been thrown off all these platforms because of things he said about women, as if we need protection from this random kickboxer who, 2 weeks ago, we did not even know existed. I don't need protection from the opinions of Andrew Tate. I don't need some, overlord of the servers saying, oh, what he's saying is so harsh and so mean and so degrading that women shouldn't have to be subjected to it. We need to protect them from it. We're fine, okay? Let him talk. Let him talk about all the girls he's dated and the countries he's been to and his views. I don't care. I'm secure enough in my womanhood that I'm not, offended and hurt by what he has to say. And, when it comes to guys saying things that are misogynistic, and they want to tell us, oh, women can't drive, and women can't do math, women don't know directions, women can't assemble a shelf. As women, we have two options. We can either prove them wrong, or we can get over it. But if you just freak out and say, oh, shut up, don't talk, be quiet, get deplatformed, you hurt our feelings, all you're doing is pretty much reinforcing in their mind the stereotypes for you they created. So he talks about women being weaker than men. He talks about us needing men to protect us. I think our best option is to prove them wrong. And if we can't, shut up. Get over it. That's all I really have to say about that. But I definitely don't appreciate some overlords that I don't know or care about deplatforming this guy to protect me from him, who I also do not know or care about. I don't need some cyber daddy telling me who I can and can't listen to and telling me what is and isn't harmful for me to hear. Because, first off, where does that end? What else am I not allowed to hear? What if I want to hear about a religion that teaches non-PC concepts concerning men and women and their roles, like Islam? Am I not allowed? What then? And who makes these decisions on what is and isn't okay? Andrew Tate apparently is taboo. 50 Shades of Grey is fine. But what about tomorrow? What's not good for me to hear tomorrow? I'm a grown-ass woman, and if I don't like it, if I don't like what I'm hearing, if I'm offended by what I'm seeing, I turn it off. I push mute. I exit. This is supposed to be what algorithms are for, is they tell you what is and isn't, or no, they take your viewing habits to decide what you want to watch and what you want to hear, and you give them feedback. So why would this not apply to kickboxers? And never in my life have I ever cared about kickboxers. Never in my life have I ever cared about guys who like to accumulate chicks. Okay? I see them as animalistic and gross, and I have no respect for them, and I could not give a rat's ass what they think about me. So my thought is, I don't think it's really about protecting women as much as it's just they don't like what he's saying because they're afraid of other guys taking on his mindset. And frankly, I don't think the mindset that he displays, that they worry about other guys taking on, is the mindset of women as property. Because we live in a society that applauds open marriages and experimenting and sleeping around. So I don't see any reason why suddenly, when Andrew Tate is talking about how he can sleep with whatever girl he wants, suddenly it's bad. That is too inconsistent. But I think he inspires men in other ways that offend people, but they don't want to admit that. And I think that's the reason he's canceled. And that women, the safety of women, the offenses of women, is really just their excuse. And I would say Andrew Tate should not be canceled. He should be allowed to say whatever he wants. That's what freedom's about. We should be allowed to turn it off. And if guys want to take on his ideas when it comes to male and female roles, when it comes to dating, when it comes to high value men having like a whole lineup of women they can sleep with, well, don't date those guys. Simple as that. You know, we women mold what type of men are in society because we're the ones who decide which ones we want to sleep with. And that's really all I have to say about it. I think it's a bigger thing than his sexism.